Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Home Affairs. In the last 3 months, the government has signed a secret MOU to pay Nauru at least $2.5 billion to house an undisclosed number of asylum seekers. Allegations of corruption have been made against multiple members of the Nauruan government, and it's been reported that Australian bikie gangs have won contracts to manage security on Nauru. Minister, is it your position that the opacity, wastefulness and cruelty of these arrangements reflects well on this country?
Call to the Minister for Home Affairs and the Leader of the House.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. I want to deal really specifically with the final part of the question and very directly about why the arrangements we have with Nauru are important and really important for Australia to have. The issues that you raised with respect to some of those contracts, when I last met with the President of Nauru, David Adiang, who I've dealt with since 2013 when I was previously Immigration Minister, the various allegations were taken seriously by him, and I trust that the Government of Nauru is dealing with that. But why these arrangements are in place is for a very good reason. And let me go back first of all to 2013 when I was previously Minister for Immigration. At that point, through what we did with our arrangements with Papua New Guinea and Nauru, we took the number of people who were risking their lives at sea by boat in just 3 months to be cut by 90%.
That's right.
That would not have been possible without those arrangements. When I first came into that portfolio, the boats were at the highest rate they had ever been, and there was a real human cost in that. I had 33 people die on my watch, drown at sea. The youngest of them was a baby. His name was Abdul Jafari. Today he should be 12. He should be 12 today, but he's not. And to make sure that we have a pathway to stop that trade in misery is an important and decent thing for Australia to do. In the same way, the more recent arrangements, which were referred to in the question as being about asylum seekers, there was no mention in the question about the fact that the particular people we're talking about there are people who have committed serious crimes in Australia. And it's a bit of a big detail to leave out, because these are individuals who have had their visas cancelled for a reason. And Australia has to be a country where visa cancellation is meaningful. When we had the High Court decision on NZYQ, we had a situation where all of a sudden it meant for some people, if your visa was cancelled, you'd have to return to your country of origin or go somewhere else. But for others, visa cancellation would in fact be meaningless for them. They would live in the community in the exact same way. And that's not the way to run a serious immigration system. As a nation, it is right and proper that any country is able to have control of its visa system. And almost everybody who is in Australia on a visa is a good guest in this country, respects this country and is welcome here. But when people, and there are some extraordinary levels of crime for people in that particular caseload, when they have their visas cancelled, it has to have meaning. If we can't return them to their country of origin, then I am grateful that the Government of Nauru has given us a pathway for the third country resettlement arrangements which were put through this parliament.